greetings, welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know, my name is Sky and I typically write paranormal romance under SD Haggis. You can find more about my books coming out in 2020 on my website sdhaggis.com, and if you sign up for my newsletter every month you'll get a free short story. In this video I want to talk about how I plan on writing 12 books in 12 months. This idea was created as a challenge by Jason Hamilton, who brought up the question about how to write more books in a year and use that challenge in order to improve writing style and craft. He posted originally in the 20 books to 50k group and then created his own group with the official challenge rules as well as how he planned to implement it. Those rules have since changed for him. The official rules are still the same for anyone who's just starting to do this challenge, and even I am planning on putting my own spin to these rules, which is why I'm making this video. If you're interested in learning more about the original challenge, feel free to click the link down in the description below to that private Facebook group. The reason I'm making changes to this is the fact that I originally attempted this challenge in 2019, and within the first couple of months I failed it. I discovered it takes me about a month and a half to 2 months to write a single draft from scratch, which makes it a little harder to complete this challenge. I wanted to try to implement this in a way that I know I could succeed at it. And the other thing is that I'm a bit of a cover hoarder. I have about 22 covers in both the paranormal romance and fantasy genres, and it's time for me to get them published. Yeah, just a little. So in order to make sure I have a better chance at succeeding at this 12 books in 12 months challenge, I have changed the rules to fit my own needs. And in this case, I plan on writing 6 novels from scratch, as well as editing and rewriting 6 novels that are in various stages of draft form, whether they're in the first draft or the third draft. For the 6 books I plan on working on from scratch, I have GROWL, which is a paranormal romance dealing with werewolves. In the description below is a link to a video I recently posted about outlining for that. It is based on an outline I discovered that I wrote back in late 2016, early 2017, and I do plan on going back and making changes to that outline to update it to what I think it should be now, but otherwise that one's ready to write. The next one I already have an outline for is the first in a series of fairy tale retellings that I would like to do called An Unfamiliar Fairytale. The first one being called SIENNA'S WOLF, which is a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood. The next project I plan on working on is going to be my first official step into the fantasy genre, and is probably going to be a novella instead of a novel. Now I say that, and it's going to change as I write it, because every time I say that, that's what happens. As of right now, it is a novella. It's called Night Rider, and it is about a man who makes a deal with the devil and becomes a Grim Reaper. The fourth idea I have is called Dark Summons, and is about demon possession. It is also going to be a fantasy novella, probably. The next 2 projects I have are ones I have covers for, however I don't have official titles for them. The first of those 2 is called HITCHHIKER'S ADVENTURES, which is a fantasy dealing with a knight and a wizard who has been turned into a cat. The final project I plan on working on from scratch is another one from the Unfamiliar Fairytale series. It is not a retelling in of itself so far. It is more going to be what if the Snow Queen had a brother or sister and that brother or sister had a child. So it's not really a fairy tale retelling itself, but it goes along with the same world aspect. Currently that project is called Summer's Princess, however again that is a working title and will probably change in the future, unless of course I just decide to go with that because I've got nothing else. For the 6 projects I plan on working on in various drafts, I have the Damned and Dangerous series first. It is a 4-book series dealing with vampires and various other monsters. The first book, Damned and Desolate, I have already finished my edits on. I have passed it on to beta readers, and I will be editing it one more time once they get it back to me before I officially set the pre-order date and get it ready for publication. The next book I'm already starting to work on is Damned and Dangerous, which the whole series was named after. Then the 3rd book is Damned and Deadly, and the 4th book is damned, and demonic. The next project I plan on working on is the first in a 5-book series. There's an interesting history with this series that I won't get into this video, but I will be posting a video soon, so keep an eye out for that, talking more about the history of this series as well as where it's going in the future. But suffice it to say, to keep this shorter, I will be working on the first and the third book in the series, Hunter's Betrayal being the first one and Warren's Rage being the third one. Currently, as they stand, they are novellas. However, both are going to have a lot more details added to them that will lengthen them into novels. So they are the 5th and 6th projects I plan on working on this year. I say 5th and 6th because they're actually going to be the 11th and 12th projects I plan on working on this year for this challenge. Some general notes I would like to make is that GROWL and SIENNA'S WOLF, the ones I'm going to be doing from scratch, are already outlined. I do have some changes I want to make to GROWL, which I've already discussed. The same will probably be true for SIENNA'S WOLF when I get to that point. However, I would like to know your opinion. I know personally I love seeing people's processes on how they do stuff. Would you guys be interested in seeing how I work each of these projects, the 6 that are going to be started from scratch, from initial idea all the way to publication? I have already started doing a series about that with GROWL, but would you like to see it for SIENNA'S WOLF, Knight Rider, Dark Summons, HITCHHIKER'S Adventures, and Summer's Princess? Especially SIENNA'S WOLF and Summer's Princess, since they are part of the same series in the world, even though they're both standalones. If that's something you're interested in, let me know down in the comments below, because it is something I'm thinking about doing, but I want to know if that's something you'd be interested in watching. The 12 projects I mentioned all have covers. I do not currently have the covers for Hunter's Betrayal or Warren's Rage. However, I have been in contact with my cover artists and they are slotted for July and August. So by July and August, I will have a cover for both of those novels. The rest of them I have covers for. It's just a matter of writing them and getting them ready for publication at this point. If I just happen to finish these 12 projects, I have 12 other projects ready on the back burner to be put into place as well. Some of these I have covers for, some of these I don't. Again, I have them separated between editing and rewriting as well as from scratch. The first ones I want to talk about are the ones that are going to be in editing and rewriting because they kind of influence the ones that I'll be writing from scratch. The first 2 are the 4th and 5th books in the Shifters and Mages series, which is a 5-book series. The first one of those 2 being Jenna's Story, book 4, and the second one being Mage's Sacrifice, book 5, the final book. The next book I don't have a series title for because when I was originally plotting it out, it was supposed to be a standalone. However, I have since come up with ideas for 2 other stories in that series, as well as a companion series that is 5 books long. The first book in that untitled series is Heart of the Wolf, which is about the alphas that will be kind of secondary characters in the companion series. The next book on my list is the first book in that companion series. The companion series is called Willow Creek Shifters, and the first book is called Howl's It Hangin'. The next book on my list may come as no surprise to anyone who followed my Nano Uncut videos, link in the description below if you haven't seen those. It is my 2019 nano novel called Paw Prints Broomsticks. Yes, that is going to be the official title. It was the only thing I could call it back then, but now I'm kind of grown attached to it, and that is going to be the title of the book. The final project I have that is going to be an edit or rewrite is from a 15-year fantasy project that's just, it's time to get it out. It's time to be done with it. And the first book in that series is called Lost Heir. For the 6 projects that I'll be writing from scratch, I have the 2nd and 3rd novels from the Willow Creek Shifters series called Bear With Me and Lion to Me, neither of which I have covers for. Then I have a standalone novel called Ashes to Ashes, which I did have a cover for. However, that cover has since been changed to another title. The next book is Blood Dragon, which is another one from that 15-year in the making fantasy series. Then I have Silence of the Wolf, which is the sequel to Heart of the Wolf. Again, that series does not have a official title yet. The last project I plan on working on is one that technically I have written a draft for previously, but I no longer have that draft, so I'll be starting from scratch once more, and that's called PACKLESS. That is a werewolf paranormal romance that I do have a cover for. Of the 12 projects that I just mentioned, the ones that will be done if I complete the first 12, I have covers for 5 of them. I don't suspect that I will finish the initial 12 projects. So this is just a contingency plan if I do finish those 12 projects. Don't expect me to get them done. It's not gonna happen. These are slotted for next year if I don't get them done this year. It's all good. So that's all I have for you guys today. Again, let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts on this are. If you are going to do this challenge yourself, let me know how you plan on doing it. Please check out that Facebook group if you want to know more about the official rules. I did not go over the official rules since I am changing those rules for my own plans, but you can find them in that group. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and that's all I have for you guys today, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, Dragonlings. Let the cover addiction continue.